Hello, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Algabot, your guide to the world of automated trading on MetaTrader 5. Today we're exploring a strategy called Pivot Pullback Thrust, a pure price action expert advisor that reads market structure without using a single indicator. Over the next few minutes, you'll learn how it identifies a trend, waits patiently for a pullback, and then enters only on a powerful momentum breakout. We'll walk through its logic, its settings, and how to test it yourself. This is educational content only, so let's dive in and see what makes this strategy tick. Pivot Pullback Thrust is a trend continuation system built entirely on raw price action. There are no moving averages, no oscillators, and no lagging indicators of any kind. Instead, the strategy reads the market the way a discretionary price action trader might, by mapping out the swing highs and swing lows that form the skeleton of a trend. The name itself describes the three ingredients it looks for. First, the pivot, which is a confirmed fractal swing point, a high or a low that stands clearly above or below the bars around it. A staircase of higher highs and higher lows tells the strategy an uptrend is in control, while a series of lower highs and lower lows signals a downtrend. Second, the pullback, a shallow countermove against that trend. The strategy wants to buy a dip inside an uptrend or sell a rally inside a downtrend, rather than chasing price after it has already run. Third, the thrust, a strong momentum candle that breaks out of the pullback in the direction of the trend, confirming that buyers or sellers have returned with conviction. Because everything is calculated from the open, high, low, and close of each bar on a single time frame, this expert advisor can be applied to almost any market, including major foreign exchange pairs, indices, metals, or commodities, and to a range of time frames. It tends to suit traders who appreciate clean, rules-based logic and who prefer quality over quantity, since it only acts when structure, pullback, and momentum all line up together. This style is well suited to patient, trend-following traders who want a transparent system they can fully understand. Remember, though, that this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. We're studying how the logic works, not making any promise about results. Let's open the engine and see exactly how the strategy makes decisions. On every new bar, the expert advisor stores the latest price data and then checks whether a new swing pivot can be confirmed. A swing high is only accepted once there are several weaker bars on both sides of it, and the same rule applies to a swing low. This confirmation step is what keeps the structure honest and avoids reacting to every small wiggle. Once it has the two most recent swing highs and the two most recent swing lows, the strategy reads the trend. If the latest swing high is above the previous swing high and the latest swing low is above the previous swing low, it sees an uptrend. If both are lower than before, it sees a downtrend. If neither pattern is clean, the strategy simply waits and does nothing. Next comes the trigger. The expert advisor looks at the current candle and asks whether it is a genuine momentum bar. To qualify, the body of the candle must be large relative to its total range, and the range itself must be wider than the previous bar. This filters out weak, indecisive candles and keeps only strong, expanding moves. Then it scans the recent trigger window, the handful of bars just before the current one, to find the highest high and the lowest low of that pullback, and to confirm that a genuine countermove actually occurred. For a long trade, the strategy needs an uptrend, at least one bearish candle in that window showing a dip, and a bullish momentum candle that closes above the window high. When all of that aligns, the strategy signals a buy. The stop loss is parked just below the lower of the breakout candle and the last swing low, with a small buffer added beneath it for breathing room. The take profit is then placed at a fixed multiple of that stop distance. A short trade is the mirror image. The strategy needs a downtrend, a rally inside the window, and a bearish momentum candle closing below the window low. The stop sits just above the breakout candle or last swing high, and the take profit is again a multiple of the risk. Only one position runs at a time, and each trade manages itself through its own stop and target. Let's bring this to life on the chart in front of you. On the left, notice how price is climbing in a clean staircase, where each pullback bottoms out a little higher than the last, forming the higher highs and higher lows that define an uptrend. Around the middle of that climb, price pauses and pulls back for two candles, dipping gently against the trend. This is the shallow countermove the strategy is waiting for. Then watch the breakout candle. It opens, surges upward with a large body, and closes decisively above the high of that little pullback, crossing the blue breakout trigger line. That is the thrust. At this moment, the buy entry fires. The stop loss is tucked just below the recent swing low, marked by the lower dashed line, and the take profit sits a fixed reward-to-risk multiple above. Price then powers higher over the next candles and tags the take profit target. The first trade is complete. Now the structure shifts. Price rolls over and begins carving lower highs and lower lows, and the strategy recognizes a fresh downtrend. Once again, it waits. A short rally lifts price for a couple of candles, the rally inside a falling market that the strategy treats as a selling opportunity. The next candle is the bearish thrust. It opens, drops hard with a wide body, and closes below the low of that rally, breaking the lower trigger line. The sell entry fires here. This time the stop loss rests just above the recent swing high, and the take profit is placed the same risk multiple below. Price slides down into the target, and the short trade closes at profit on our illustration. Notice that in both cases, structure, pullback, and momentum all had to agree before a single trade was taken. Let's go through the settings so you know exactly what you can adjust. The first is swing strength, which defaults to 3. This controls how many bars must sit on each side of a pivot before it is confirmed as a swing high or low. A higher value gives you larger, more significant swings but fewer of them, while a lower value reacts faster to smaller structure. Next is TriggerLookback, also defaulting to 3. This sets the size of the pullback window the strategy scans for a counter move and for the breakout level. A larger window allows deeper pullbacks, while a smaller one keeps entries tight to recent price. BodyRatio defaults to 0.55. This is the heart of the momentum filter. It defines how much of a candle's total range must be solid body for it to count as a thrust. Raising it demands stronger, more explosive candles, while lowering it lets more breakouts through. RewardRisk defaults to 2. This sets the take profit as a multiple of the stop distance, so a value of 2 aims for twice the risk on every trade. You can raise it for more ambitious targets or lower it for trades that bank profit sooner. StopBufferFactor defaults to 0.5. This adds a cushion beyond the breakout bar or swing, measured as a fraction of the candle's range, to help avoid being stopped out by minor noise. Finally, Lots defaults to 0.10 and simply sets the position size. Always size your trades responsibly in line with your own account and risk tolerance. Adjust these settings gradually and test each change before going live. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Pivot Pullback Thrust. We've covered how it maps market structure through swing pivots, waits for a shallow pullback, and enters only on a genuine momentum thrust in the direction of the trend. We walked through its stop loss and take profit logic, explored every adjustable setting, and discussed how to test it properly for yourself. Remember, everything in this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. If you found it helpful, please give it a like, leave a comment with the strategy you'd like me to break down next, and subscribe so you don't miss future analyses. You can find more at www.algobot.live. Thanks so much for watching. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Trade responsibly.